Hello, my name is Danielle MacDonald. I'll be doing my presentation tonight on behavioral description. Ever wonder why people do what they do, or why they behave a certain way in certain situations? Well, behavioral description is a useful tool to help many people in various roles to understand why people do and behave the way they do. Behavioral description is used every day by people who are unaware that they're even doing it. But when used purposefully, it allows for specific behavior to be objectively observed and described to understand why people are doing that specific behavior. In my presentation, I will talk about three main topics in regards to behavioral description. First, let's define behavioral description. According to our textbook, it is an account that refers only to observable phenomena. In other words, an objective description of the behavior in question. Behavioral description should answer three questions first. The first question is, who is involved? Any observation is going to ask who is involved. Whose behavior are we exactly observing? They want to know who they should be observing before they start observing so that they can focus all their attention on that person or a group of people. The next question is, what's the circumstances? They will also be wondering when and where the behavior they are observing is triggered. So they're gonna want to know what's causing the behavior, when is it being triggered. As described in Janine Driver's interview, Office Body Language from CBS that we watched in week 4, she talks about body language in interviews. Many interviewers try to trigger specific behavior through questions and atmosphere. The interviewers are purposely putting you in an atmosphere and asking you specific questions so that they are able to observe not only what you tell them, but your body language that you give off when you tell them your answer. The third question is, what specific behavior? They want to know what specific behavior they're watching for. There are many ways people react and interact with one another, and the behavior varies from person to person. Next, I'll talk about the applications. When does behavioral description happen, and how does it help? In a comfortable setting with friends and family, you will be able to observe specific behavior more easily and know why the person is most likely doing that behavior. Since you know these people a little more, you're able to use your past experiences with them to understand their behavior that they are projecting and then make an educated assumption as to why they're acting in that way. In a workplace or school setting, people tend to act a bit differently due to the more professional atmosphere. As talked about in Janine Driver in her interview from week 4, she describes how you can tell what people may be thinking based on their body language. Whether it's their confidence, whether they're confident or if they're not confident, whether they want to talk, if they don't want to talk, if they like you, or even if they don't like you. You can get that all based on just the body language. There are also people who observe behavior for a living. For example, interrogators. These people tend to be most objective in their observations and use their observations to figure out why they act a specific way or do a specific thing based on the three questions. Who is involved? 1. What are the circumstances? 2. And 3. What is the specific behavior that they're observing? 4. Next is the significance of behavioral description. Behavioral description is very significant, not just in interrogations, but in everyday life. It allows for people to understand why someone is doing something. It's used to determine how someone feels and why they feel that way. It also may allow people to identify potential dangerous people in certain cases. You see, like the interrogators, police force, they use behavioral description and the observation that they get from people in observation to make educated guesses and use that in their cases. To sum things up, using the three questions people are able to better understand why people do what they do. It allows for a better understanding of one another and can be used in everyday situations. Thank you.